The voting for the general election 2024 concluded on June 1, bringing an end to the last phase of India's federal democratic cycle. Voting for 543 seats was conducted across a 7-phase election over the past 50 days. The Election Commission of India is all geared up now for the result day, which is scheduled for June 4. All steps have been taken to ensure transparent and secure counting. The counting of votes will kick off at 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And the Election Commission of India on Saturday issued a handbook to poll officials ahead of the counting of votes of the recently held general elections. The counting of votes for the general election and the state assembly elections of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, and also the by-elections to assembly constituencies, shall be held on the 4th of June starting at 8 in the morning. The Chief Election Commissioner, Rajiv Kumar, along with the Election Commissioners Gyanesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu, had reviewed the counting day preparations with all Chief Electoral Officers and returning officers. The counting trends and results as per the data entered by the RO, the returning officer or the assistant returning officer, for the assembly constituencies and parliamentary constituencies will be available on the Election Commission of India's website as well as on the Voter Helpline app, which is available both in iOS and Android modes. These apps can be downloaded. The Voter Helpline app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store. The poll body has also issued a handbook for the returning officers and the counting agents available on the ECI website. So the Election Commission of India has provided central forces, in fact, to prevent any untoward incident in post or possible post-poll violence based on the assessment provided by states and central observers. Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal have been provided with security forces for 15 days after counting. Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh have also been provided with security forces till 2 days after counting. And Deepika Mehta is in Varanasi and she joins us now with more. Deepika, what are the preparations like for counting day?
Good evening, Mark. The preparations are in full swing for the counting day. Today, the last leg of training is going on for all the people who would be undertaking the counting process. Now, the counting would be happening and a temporary setup has been made for the counting process. There are around 9 rooms which have been dedicated for the counting process, out of which 8 belongs to the assembly constituencies and 1 for the returning officers, where all the returning officers would be sitting and would be cross-verifying all the counting that will come from the 8 different constituencies and 8 different rooms. If we talk about security, the entire area, right from the area where the entrance of the agents would be taking place to the area covering the RO, which is the returning officers, everything is under CCTV surveillance. Not only this, there is 2 layers of security. One is the internal and the second is the external level of security, which has also been assured. Apart from that, thorough frisking will take place of all the agents, of all the personnel who are involved in the entire counting process, that the Election Commission is ensuring. And also no mobile phones or any other electronic device would be entertained inside once it goes inside. And a cross-verification of all the counting process would also be ensured by all the returning officers. Not only this, because we've been seeing that there are many tweets which are claiming that the polling agents are not being allowed inside the counting booths. But we had a word. We interacted with the Election Commission officials here in Varanasi and they ensured us that they would allow the polling agents thoroughly inside it, and there is no question or no stopping of the polling agents. However, they have to follow the security protocol. So this is the entire security setup which has been ensured for the counting, which is all set to take place day after tomorrow.
Indeed, Deepika, and so put it also into context for us, since the exit polls were announced yesterday, what are the expectations like? After all, you are in a key constituency of Varanasi. Deepika, looks like our connection seems to have got, we seem to be disconnected with Deepika, and now I'm told we are getting Shama Mishra on the line. Shama is joining us from Mumbai with an update. Shama, what are the poll preparation? I beg your pardon, the counting preparations like in Mumbai?
Well, the counting preparations are already in place, and given the fact that it is from 7 a.m. in the morning, we'll start getting the updates. The centers are also all well equipped with security personnel, with all the necessary arrangements in place, because we understand that Maharashtra is a key state and has the maximum number of seats just after Uttar Pradesh. So in Maharashtra also, if you're seeing that the number 48 was really, intense and complex, even in the campaigning, even in the polling. And we are also seeing that a large number of voters this year, they have decided, a large number of first-time voters, they have decided, to come out and fulfill their duties. So all this will be, the results of all this will be out on 4th. And since morning, all the, not just Doordarshan, but all the press people would be stationed at various counting centers, at the headquarters of poll parties, of the political parties, because as and when the numbers start getting announced, as and when the trends start coming out, the celebrations or the other factors that are going to come out, that will decide what is the fate of the state of Maharashtra.
Right. So we were talking to Deepika a little earlier, and she was talking about polling agents being allowed to enter the the counting station, and also you did mention a little bit also about media personnel being allowed. How many people are actually allowed into that counting center? Shama, tell us.
Well, usually we have a pass, and it is the arrangement is kind of a tents are made, and whoever is the main the persons who are allowed inside the counting centers, they will be there, and time and again there'll be some updates coming out to the media personnel, and media personnel will have to wait outside where the seating arrangement is done, where the waiting arrangement is done, and they cannot enter where the counting is taking place. So only the people who are having, only the press people who are having their passes will be allowed in the counting centers, and they will also be given time, that in 2 hours or in 1 hour, there'll be updates about particular constituency, about a particular seat, and only then they will be allowed to give out the numbers. And if I'm allowed to, talk about the exit polls of Maharashtra, I've already mentioned that Maharashtra is one of the complex states for the entire country, and just after Uttar Pradesh, it has the maximum number of seats. So this time around, if we are comparing it with 2019 results, BJP over here is securing the maximum number of seats. However, it is, in comparison to 2019, so it is getting a little blow. It is getting a small blow, and the reason being that Eknath Shinde and the Shiv Sena, the parent Shiv Sena, they were broken. The NCP, Sharad Pawar, the parent company, the parent political party, they were broken. So somewhere or the other, there has been, a confusion. There has been some kind of anger in people, in the voters, because a large number of voters, a large number of Marathi people still associate themselves with Uddhav Thackeray, still associate themselves with Bal Thackeray, and for them it is Uddhav Thackeray. And even when the party split, people did think that their votes should be going to Uddhav Thackeray. So this time around here, over here, we are seeing that the situation has become, if BJP had taken all the seats on its own, they would have gained a lot more compared to 2019. But this time around, they went with Eknath Shinde of Shiv Sena and also Ajit Pawar of NCP. Their popularity, the Shiv Sena's, Eknath Shinde's and Ajit Pawar's popularity is not seen as translating into the votes, because if we are to go by the exit polls, Ajit Pawar's exit polls is showing only 0 to 1 seat. So we can understand. However, Ajit Pawar had contested only on 5 seats, but this number, that 1 seat, is also very low. And key constituency, which is Baramati, according to reports, according to experts, it is being said that it is not coming into the hands of Ajit Pawar, and even it's the similar case for Eknath Shinde as well, because Eknath Shinde, he also fought on 14 seats, but somewhere in the exit polls, if we go by that, 5 to 7 seats are going towards Eknath Shinde, and
Right.
the same number,
Yes, Shama.
large number is going to Uddhav Thackeray. So we understand the dynamics over here is changing, but however, we have to wait for the final results, for the final numbers, because many times exit polls are not exactly accurate, not exactly correct. So we have to wait for the final results.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Shama. But let's go back to Deepika. We were talking to Deepika a little earlier. So Shama gave us a large description about what was the expectations after the exit polls. Tell us a little bit also about the expectations in Varanasi after the exit polls.
When we talk about the people of Varanasi, they say that they have voted on the grounds of development, Mark, which means that they've seen a lot of development when we talk about ghats, because ghats have also, they've not only invited tourism, but also have given a boost to the economy of the city, which overall impacts the economic situation of the state. And not only this, it has also given employment opportunities to not only men, but also women, who say that it wouldn't have been possible if we look at past 10 years, especially 5 years ago, there were no employment opportunities for female. So here they talk about development, and when they talk about development, they are in favor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This we heard from many of the voters before the polling, and on the day of polling we couldn't talk about because of course of the protocol. But then when we analyzed our conversation with all the voters after the polling, before the polling, on ground at different situations, at different locations which are developed, which are under development, there is a sense of sentiment which is pro-BJP, because people are talking about development. They've got employment opportunities here. The hotel business is doing here very good. And despite this peak summer, the influx of people and the tourists is on a very continuous basis. So this clearly, made us to come to a conclusion that the results may go into the favor of Bharatiya Janata Party. And now when we look at the exit poll also, as the BJP has been reiterating, there is no competition. Now this reflects, this statement gets a testimony from the exit poll that are now coming in. So we can say that we can now go by the exit poll when we take especially the case of Varanasi, Mark.
Okay, we leave it there. Thanks very much, Deepika Mehto and Shama Mishra. Thanks for joining us.